5 surefire ways to make sure that you reach more leads. Too many people are talking about and wishing that they had more leads. Trust me, you don't need more leads. Some of you don't need more leads. You need to do a better job of the leads that you're actually getting. And here's a secret. Many times in life, the way God works, you don't even get more leads until you become more faithful with the leads you got. What's going on, guys? My name is Adam Oduwumi. I'm the founder and CEO of Uprise Real Estate Partners. Hope you guys are doing well. And I just want to leave these tips for you guys, right? And so we don't leave you with information that you can just easily find on YouTube or somewhere else. We give you the real deal, nitty gritty, and we apply some in-depth business principles and in-depth skill sets along with these things, right? So let's go and get into it, right? I'm gonna break down the 5 ways that you can increase your ability to reach leads so that you then have an opportunity to convert those leads. And that's one of the biggest things, right? When you get in the real estate business, a lot of times your number one concern is leads. I need leads. I need people to talk to you about doing real estate. Then as you start getting leads and as you start working, then it's like, okay, well, how many conversations are you having, right? So that's not just about how many leads you're getting, because if you get 100 leads, but you only have 5 conversations, something's wrong. So then it becomes to, okay, I need some leads, I need some conversation. And then once you can identify how many conversations you're having, and getting it to a good point, then you look at your conversion ratio in terms of appointments and show ups and then so on and so forth, right? But we got to take it back for a second, right? In this busy market, I interview agents and I still hear agents say, I'm looking for leads, I'm looking for leads, I'm looking for leads. And I take a step back and I say, hold up, let's talk about this past year. Let's talk about what you did production-wise. Let's talk about how many leads you averaged a month, a week, and what did you do with those, and what did you convert into, and how many appointments did you have? Because, and some of you guys, if you haven't watched it already, I've created several videos that talks about if you want to grow, ask yourself, what are you willing to eliminate? Right? What are you willing to prune back, right? It's a garden principle. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go back and watch that video. But when it comes to leads and business, one of our core values that we have over Uprise is stewardship. It's being faithful with God's supply. So same thing when it comes to leads, it's being faithful with what we're given. And in real estate, for some reason, we have a tendency, our industry has a tendency to be very wasteful. We're wasting opportunities. We're wasting relationships. We're wasting open doors, but we keep wanting the new thing, the new shiny object. And it's like, hold up. Get good at taking care of what you have and you'll be ruler of much more. So let's go ahead and get into this. So one thing to understand is in all businesses across the board, any industry, all businesses have more uncaptured, unconverted, and unsold opportunities in their lead than they do actually converted leads into clients. Let me say one more time. In all industries, all businesses, most companies have more uncaptured, unconverted, and unsold leads and opportunities than they do leads they actually converted into clients. So what does that mean? Everybody leaves money on the table. Everybody leaves money on the table, even us, because we're in a mode of expanding and growing. We're leaving a lot of money and opportunities on the table. We just try to minimize that as much as we can or get better about taking our piece of the pie, if that makes sense. And so your job, what you want to start thinking about is how can I fill up some of the gaps and the holes in my current processes, in the current way that I'm working leads, so that I can see more production out of what I'm already getting. And that when I get more leads, I'm operating at a higher conversion rate, at a higher skill set, and I'm going to make more money. One of the most frustrating things that can happen in business is where you get more leads, you get more business, but you're not making more money and you don't see the fruit. And this is a way for you to make sure that you don't end up there, right? So stop chasing your, that next lead, that next opportunity, when you already have everything that you need right now, right? So number one, before I even give you the 5 main things, here's if you don't have these things in place, you need to have these things in place. You need to have a lead management system, aka a database. You need in your database, you need to have where you are making note either in your phone, in your CRM, like missed calls report, something like that, where people you need to get back to and get back to within a period of time, right? And you can easily identify those people, okay? So understand this, once you commit to these 5 points I'm gonna give you, you're gonna experience massive change in your business. Things are gonna come easier to you. You're gonna see more fruit from the things that you've already been doing. You're just gonna be doing them at a higher level. And obviously you're gonna get more business and sales. So let's get into it. Number one way to reach more leads: answer your phone. Answer your phone. Answer your phone, right? It's the greatest opportunity to reach more leads, right? Is answer your phone when people call, right? An inbound call, understand this, guys, an inbound call is literally 10 times more valuable within 5 minutes than any phone number that you reach out to and call. Okay. Now, I know you like to work smarter and harder, so here's what I would do, right? Have a standard for how you answer all your calls, right? So it's impossible for you to answer all your calls, especially once you get busy, because in the beginning, when you're starting out, you have all the time in the world, or you may have all the time in the world if you're doing real estate full time, right? So you're able to answer all the calls, right? And you want to do that because like, you don't really have too much other things going on. But as you start to get busier, answering all the phone calls gets a little tougher when you're showing properties, when you're doing consultations, things of that nature. And so what you want to work at is just about getting better. So it's not about perfection, it's about getting better. So understand this, you might want to write this down. The industry, when it comes to real estate agents and lenders, is 20%, meaning out of 10 phone calls, they may answer 2, right? So if you had 10 leads call you in a day or call you in a week, the industry would have you only answer 2 of those phone calls. So do you understand the mathematical formula I'm talking about, where you don't have to go for perfection, but if you just answer your phone 2 more times, if you just go from 20% to 40%, well, now you done doubled the amount of leads that you're talking to and that you have opportunities with, right? And so answering your phone is huge, right? And so another thing you can do is, on a lot of our phones, we have where when people call us, we can send an automatic custom message, right? And so if you see it's a number you don't know, or it could be a lead, or you're not sure if a lead, have an automatic message that when you're busy and that call comes in, you can automatically go to that custom message and it texts them back. So that person's not just, well, I called them, I don't know when, I don't know if I'm calling the right person, I don't know when they're gonna reach back out to me. No, I got your call. I'm so sorry, I'm showing houses right now. I'm so sorry, I'm helping some clients right now. I'll give you a call back as soon as I get out. Right? It creates a perception that you're busy, that you're a professional, like it's good, right? And then as soon as you get done, you can reply back to them, because obviously you'll see that you sent that text and you had that missed call, or they may say, sounds great, thank you so much, right? So that's another strategy that you can, and then as you get busier and busier and busier, there's more systems and things that you can put in place to make sure that you're receiving answering the calls and getting back to people as quickly as possible. Number 2, return all missed calls, period. Return all missed calls. I remember when I was like 6 months. I remember when I was in real estate for like a month and I was doing like phone duty. So phone duty is when the brokerage has listings and people call on the side and you answer the phone, right? And I remember calling people back and offering value and trying to help them. And I remember I started getting people saying, thank you. Like, thank you so much for calling me back. Thank you so much for calling me back. Because there's people that, let's say I was on the phone, they called and I had to call them back. And like, thank you so much for calling me back. Thank you so much for calling me back. I'm like, why are they? So finally I said, excuse me, man, why are you saying thank you? Like, you called me. And I just like, what's making you say thank you for calling me back? And she said, oh, because I've called 6 other offices, or I've called 6 other real estate agents and no one's called me back. I was like, wow, right? I was like, that's mind blowing to me. Like, there's opportunities for business and people are just leaving this on the table. It was mind blowing to me, right? But then as I stayed in the industry longer, I found out that this was so true. Like we just said, 20%. And so a lot of the business that I got early on wasn't because I was the best, wasn't because I had someone mentor me or grow on my skill sets when I was doing retail real estate. It was simply because I returned people's phone calls and made myself available. That was it. It was just effort, right? So it's interesting, right? Number three, text missed calls, right? I kind of alluded to this earlier. Text missed calls, right? It's so powerful, right? Because when you text someone, let me help you. Some of you guys understand this. Some of you guys buy leads, right? Or some of you guys could imagine someone driving around looking at properties or looking online and looking at properties. Well, guess what? When someone's looking at properties, they're not just looking at your property. They're typically looking at several properties, right? So the mindset you want to have is when someone calls you, when a lead calls you, they're probably calling 2 or 3, 4, other people, right? And so two things are going to happen. Either they're going to call you, you're going to miss the call, and they're going to get on the phone with someone else and talk to them, or they're going to call you, call some other realtors, and those other realtors are going to miss their calls as well, right? And so if you can send a text message, right, from a missed call, and this can be you're busy and you're sending an automated text message like I said before, or it can be they called you, you called them back, and in addition to the voicemail, you also text them, okay? And listen what I said, in addition to the voicemail, you also send them a text. And what that does, it allows you to separate yourself from the competition, because maybe another realtor called them back and left a voicemail. Maybe a realtor called them back. Maybe no one called them back. But you calling them back, leaving a voicemail, and sending a text message gives you statistically a greater chance for you to engage with that lead and reach that lead. And yeah, you may have someone who called you during lunch break, called you during their coffee break. You called them back while they're working, they can't talk, you left a voicemail. They're not going to check that voicemail until they get out of work or have their next break, but you sent them a text as well. And then they're able to text you back and say, hey, cool, can I give you a call at my next break, right? So text messages are great. Number 4, we call this the double and the triple tap. The double and the triple tap. So check this out, guys. Some of you may not even know what I'm talking about. But years ago in the 80s, I heard this. Obviously, I was born in the 80s, so I wouldn't know. But years ago in the 80s, I found out and I was heard that back then they didn't have caller ID, they didn't have cell phones and voicemail and things like that, right? And so when someone would call a house, families would say, oh, someone called, or we just missed that call. And they'd say, oh, don't worry. Like, let's say they were busy. Don't worry. If it's important, if it's important, they'll call back. Don't worry about it. If it's important, they'll call back, right? And what's funny is that still is true to this day. My wife, for example, if I'm working and I'm in a meeting and she calls me and I don't answer, she may just leave it alone and just wait for me to call her back when I get out. But if she calls me and then calls me again, she calls me twice, then I know whether I'm on the phone, whether I'm showing properties to a client, as either right then and there or in the next soon opportunity I have, I need to call her back and touch base with her and make sure everything's okay, because you're calling me twice or 3 times, so it must be important. So a lot of people still have that frame of mindset. So when you are trying to reach back out to leads, don't just call a lead 1 time, call a lead 2 times, call a lead 3 times. So you may say, oh, that's a little redundant. Guys, it's already statistically proven. Like it's already statistically proven. Like, unless you are doing a wonderful, wonderful, wonderful job of not leaving money on the table, reaching all your leads and converting all your leads, don't let your ego get in the way, right? Or your limiting beliefs get in the way. Again, if it's important, they'll call back. And so when it comes to leads, calling a lead back 2 times and 3 times in a row and not leaving a voicemail until that 2nd time or 3rd time increases your chances to reach that lead. Does that make sense? For example, and some of you have done this, you get a call. You call someone in the morning. It's the afternoon now. You get a call. You're like, I don't know this number. You put your phone down. They call you again. You look at the number. You go, do I know this number? They're calling me again, so it must be important. I wonder if it's one of the people I called this morning. And then you have some people that don't answer it because they don't want to miss a call from someone that they called earlier in the day. But let's say you deal with the other type of person and they go, man, I'm just not sure. I'll have to check. They put the phone down again. And before they're even able to check if it matches the number that they called earlier in the day, you call a third time. And they go, hold up, it must be important. Let me see who this is. And how do I know this? Because my wife does this. I've seen her do it. I don't know this person. Oh, well. They're calling me again. Who is this? I'm like, don't worry about it, babe. No, hello. And then it's like, some spam call with it, right? So it works, okay? And then number five, use video to connect with your leads. Let me say it one more time again. Use video to connect with your leads. Guys, when I was growing up, we heard this motto a lot that said, don't talk to strangers, don't talk to strangers, don't talk to strangers, right? Well, a lot of people still have that ingrained in their head. Don't talk to strangers, right? So understand this. I don't care what you think you look like. I don't care if you got crooked teeth or straight teeth. I don't care if you got, if you see straight, you got look cross-sided with your eyes. I don't care if you bald, you got long hair, thin hair, thick hair. It does not matter. Understand, when you do video, it allows your business to have a higher conversion ratio than anything else you could do that's not face-to-face. Anything else when you use video. So when you're reaching back out to leads that you've missed their phone call, or you're calling leads and you want to increase your chances of connecting with them and reaching them and talking with them, in addition to the phone calls, in addition to the text, you can also use video messages to them, right? So you got to understand, most people, when they don't answer your call, it's not because they don't like you, it's because they don't know you. They don't recognize your number, right? I'm the same way. So guys, why are you not utilizing a tool, aka video, where they can get to know you before they talk to you? So you can send a video saying, hey, this is Adam. So sorry I missed your call earlier. You called me about X, Y, and Z. Definitely want to connect with you. Give me a call back at your earliest convenience. Love to answer any questions you got. Boom, right? And understand this. What's cool about that is when they receive that, you'll have some that give you a call right away because they're like, oh, they call me back and send me a video. That's awesome. They're taking an interest in me. Seems like they want to talk to me. I like this person's vibe. Let me give them a call back. They seem helpful. You have some people that will see and say, oh, that's cool. And I call you back yet. But here's the beautiful thing. The next time you call them, or the next time you message them, or the next time you reach out to them, the chances of them answering or getting back to you is increased because they now are familiar with you, as opposed to just not knowing who the hell you are, period, right? So understand how you handle your current leads is just very, very important, okay? Understand that video takes you from a stranger to a natural person and allows you to increase your connection rate with them, okay? Understand this, guys. The only way to mastery is to get more repetitions, okay? Everything is about repetition and increasing your skill sets, at least in terms of what we believe. So if you're receiving leads and you're talking about you want more leads, yes, more leads are great. But first, make sure you're being a good steward over the leads you currently have. Increase your skill set on the leads you currently have from a prospective mindset, and then get more leads and start doing more reps and start working your processes and systems, and watch the deals come, watch the transactions come, watch the money come, and watch the very, very satisfied clients come. I hope this is helpful for you guys. If you need any help with this, if you need any support with this, reach out to us, let us know. We're here to support. Thanks.